Okay, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Talking Turkey Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Manny Jimenez. We are recording a day later than usual, but it's all good. And I'm joined by my pal, my buddy. Do you want to say hello? Are you in the spirits have risen a little bit?
I mean, time helps heal, but it's still never going to fully heal. I'm your co-host, everyone's favorite cup of coffee, Cody.
I still feel that angst in your voice, Cody. I
Yeah.
felt it through the chat.
I thought it couldn't get worse than losing to Andrew, and here I go, week 3. Lowest score of the league. The week I play the commish. Oh, man. Hasn't even won a title in his league in 20 years.
20 years. I'm just consistent.
I mean, hey, you're a regular season champ. I can give you that.
That's right. That's how I do it.
Yeah.
No, it was a very, very interesting week 3. We actually started week 4 tonight, as we watched that Cardinals, if it was a game, Cardinals versus Seahawks. But
I mean, near the end, it got much closer and became a game in the second half.
I think the last 8 minutes of the game was definitely the most exciting part of the game.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Yeah. But, even though we kicked off week 4, we'll talk about the week 3 matchups, how that went, what that looks like, and then how that kind of shakes up what going into now. We're heading outside of the division, right? Based off our new scheduling structure, and who we're going to see our matchups from other teams, other divisions, and what those teams are looking like, what teams are doing well, what teams are struggling. A lot of 2-1 teams. Very surprising.
1-2 and 2-1. Yeah. A lot of those teams kind of, conglomerating around the middle. And now starting with this week, we get to see which division's actually the strongest.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about surprise teams in the NFL, that we've seen recently over the last 3 weeks, and we'll talk about those players, if there's some concern on some of those teams or not, and if some of those teams are for real. We'll obviously get into the waiver wire action. What happened this week? Again, we've had some big spenders. I love it. People dropping 10, 15, 20% of their fab.
Some repeat big spenders.
Yeah, repeat big spenders on second-tier players. It's pretty phenomenal. I love it.
Yeah, on players that they're keeping on their bench. It's remarkable.
Really, really happy to see that, right?
Yeah.
You gotta love seeing the
pot. Free money in the pot at the end of the year.
That's right. And then we'll close it out with just some big-time games happening on Sunday, and we'll go from there.
All right.
So let's get right into it. Week 2 matchups and week 3 matchups.
This one at the beginning, of course, you did. Yeah, leave it to Manny. Hide his matchup at the end when he loses. Put it at the top when he wins.
It's just ESPN organizing the way they do.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But your favorite podcast co-hosts had their clash this weekend, and we wished each other well, and I knew my team would perform extraordinarily well this weekend. But definitely, Cody, you can talk about your end and your team. When the week started, I was like, okay, this is going to be close to get going, but there's definitely some trips out of the gate for your team. So what happened there?
I guess it all started with the fab waiver. I got outbid on the Colts defense. I think you outbid me by $2 or $3. You went a little hefty on them, so I had to scramble and pick up the Falcons, who I believe they were actually my 3rd waiver request. I got outbid on my top 2 defense requests. And props to you. You went all in on the Colts strategy last week. You had Daniel Jones that you picked up, the Colts defense you picked up. And then you, of course, have their kicker, and you have their tight end, Tyler Warren. So you went all in on the Colts. It happened to work out for you. Even if I had the Colts defense getting 20, look at my score. It wouldn't have mattered. I thought I had some pretty good matchups. McCaffrey being really him and Pearsall, the only healthy starters on that offense. I thought it was going to really be a big McCaffrey day, expecting 25 to 30 points. He got me 15, which is kind of like an average running back 1 game in our league. Jalen Hurts had a really bad first half against the Rams from a fantasy standpoint. And so just watching that game on Red Zone, it was just like, oh no, this is starting to turn south for me. And then going into the matchup after seeing what Kraft did to the Washington defense from a tight end position. And now I have Bowers going against that same defense. If Kraft got 20, Bowers could get me 40. And that didn't really happen. He got me 5. He got me 5. He did have 2 looks from Geno in the end zone, but obviously didn't come down with either one of them. Not much really went my way at all. Jalen Hurts had a good day. I can't say that about anyone else on my fucking roster here. No one else besides Jalen Hurts and the tush push got me a touchdown. So many single digit points here. Even my big trade that I was feeling good about, bringing Zay Flowers into the fold over here and Chuba Hubbard. Neither of them got touchdowns. Zay Flowers almost put up a goose egg on Sunday Night Football when that game was winning other people, their matchups in their leagues. It was just, fuck, man. It was rough. It was a rough Sunday.
Dude, so that was the only real spot that I was concerned about. I'm like, okay, the way this game was going with Detroit and the Ravens, I was like, oh my goodness, this is a perfect game for Zay and Lamar to go off, because it was just kind of like a slobber knock. It was going back and forth. There was high scoring. So I was definitely worried, and they just didn't look Zay's way. It was kind of crazy.
And when they would cut some of the wider shot replays, you could see Zay was getting open, but they just for some reason decided maybe they're going to drop more plays for Bateman. Hopkins had a couple good catches here and there. I think it was 2 maybe.
Mark Andrews back in the fold, man.
Yeah, Mark Andrews. They really, wanted to silence the haters on him after his super slow 2 weeks. Javi, who had him, he was 2-0. He cut his ass. He's like, I'm winning without you. I don't need you. Cut him. Picked up his backup, Isaiah Likely. So he's going to be moving forward with him. But yeah, I mean, you had Gibbs on the other side. So even if Zay went off, it wouldn't have been enough to catch up to you. It would have just been enough to save me from dead fucking last this week, man. Oh, I'm disgusted. I'm dressed in all black for the funeral for my team. I mean, I can't shake out of this funk. And next week I got a match up against Javi, and his team's going off. I don't think I'll be able to compete with him this week.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So a potential 1-3 starts on the horizon. Is that what you're saying?
It's looking like it. After the draft, I told Ricky, hey, I'm drafting Rashee Rice. He's out till week 6. As long as I can be 3-3 heading, out of that week, and I get Rashee Rice back, I'll be feeling really good. I had what I thought was, the easy first 2 weeks against Andrew, and then Carlos's backup team, or Ruben, or whatever he's calling it right now. And losing to Andrew kind of set me back. That was supposed to be an easy one. And I'll probably be looking at 1-3 heading into week 5. And so I'll have to win those next 2 to be at the benchmark point I was hoping for.
Oof, tough sledding.
I know. Back-to-back losses. I mean, I think haven't had that since last year, like week 4 and 5. It was brutal. I'm under 500 for the first time in about 2.5 years. Yeah, I don't even know what to do. This is probably what Andrew feels like every day. I don't like it.
Keep at it. You'll be fine. So after Thursday night's game, that Buffalo Miami game, I expected Keon Coleman to have a much bigger score. So when I saw the 2-point output, I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely have a chance here. I knew Gibbs was going to be in a shootout, and Gibbs wasn't even the best RB in that game. He was actually probably the 3rd best RB in that game.
He wasn't even the best RB on his own team.
Exactly. Yeah, so I would say Montgomery was the best RB in the game. Derrick Henry be number 2, but Derrick Henry had a massive fumble.
So that would set him back to 3. Gibbs was definitely the second best guy in that game then from a running back point of view.
Yeah, but I was saying points-wise, when Derrick Henry was still balling out early on.
Early on, yeah. And then they just didn't go to him in the second half. Even without the fumble, I think he would have had 11 points maybe. Yeah.
Gibbs got that beautiful touchdown with that, like you called it on the chat, the NFL blitz-like play where they did a little pitch pass. It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was dope.
So, that was great. That's a great goal line play there.
Yeah, it was good to see that. But yeah, as you said, I sniped that Colts defense from you, putting a few more bucks on, and that paid dividends right away. Right when I saw that first drive interception TD, I was like, okay.
Early on in the fourth quarter too. Yeah. It was our first quarter, early on in the first quarter. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I made the right decision there. So when you see waiver wire moves and pickups, you want to start those players. That's the reason that you're going for them. You put a little bit extra fab. We are having players who are not doing that, so we'll definitely talk about that. But I was, as you said, I've kind of gone on this whole Colts approach. All in on the Colts because I just see good things. I mean, they're 3-0, and my team, if I would have gone Colts even week 1, I probably would have been 3-0 just like them.
Oh
So
yeah, they've been so dominant this year in their matchups, even having a good offensive output against Denver, which is, pretty widely considered the NFL's best defense. I mean, yeah, it's a good strategy. We'll see if they can keep it going, maintain that level throughout. I mean, you don't even have their best player. Javi has their best player, and it's still not mattering. They're still coming through for you. So yeah, you're 2-1, leaving the intra-divisional, tied for first with Andrew in the Allen division. I'm 1-2, but looking at the standings overall, I'm still in 8th place overall, so I would sneak into the playoffs if it just started. Yeah, exactly. And then once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen.
That's right. You'd have Romo in a potential week 1 matchup. So
I'm not afraid of him.
Oh yeah, I know you're
not. Oh yeah.
But yeah, we move on. It's all good. It was a great clash. We're gonna see each other later again in the season, which is gonna be fun.
I can't wait. I don't know which date I have on my calendar circled, like with the darker red, the one versus Andrew or the one versus you.
Nice. I definitely have that Andrew matchup circled.
As you should.
I need to have that game. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the Nick matchup though. Romo versus Angel. Right. This was probably the best matchup of the week.
I would say second best. We'll get to one later on that turned out to be a little better. But yeah, this could have put Romo at 3-0 and really gotten him a good head start in the what is he in the Chase division? Yeah, so he could have really taken a dominant lead in the Chase division there.
Yeah. So Angel, we had talked about it. I mean, this game was close, but Angel started. He put a big fab wave on Caleb Williams and
really came through for him.
Came through massive. 32 points on the week. Excellent blow up for him.
I do wonder if Jaden Daniels didn't have that knee injury, if he still would have played him. I do think that could have flipped the matchup. Actually, having Jaden Daniels hurt kind of helped him win here.
I agree with you there. I agree with you. Yeah. I don't think if Jaden Daniels wasn't hurt, I don't think he puts that much fab. I don't think he makes that change. And and he wouldn't have got that great output. And Roman Doomsday and him have a great connection now, but I mean, he's still got great output from Nico Collins and Trey McBride. So
they had some good matchups there, and Justin Jefferson didn't even have all that great of a game. He still put up over 100 points there.
Yeah. No, and Romo, 92. It's always respectable. When you get over 90 in this league, it's always very, very respectable. He just went up against Buzzsaw with Kay Williams. Who would have thought I'd be saying those words? But
I know, right? Yeah. And I mean, as you can see there, Romo's highest scorer was Jordan Mason. He was a guy who Romo took in the 4th round. I gave him a lot of shit for that because he's the backup running back on that team. But lo and behold, Aaron Jones gets hurt. He's going to be put on short-term IR. And so he'll be out for at least 4, maybe 5 weeks. So that Jordan Mason play is really coming through for him. And helped carry him this week, and against most other teams he would have a good enough day with 92 points to kind of eke out a victory. But yeah, he's also got Jackson Smith-Njigba, who's been one of the top 5 fantasy receivers, maybe even top 3 fantasy receivers behind like Puka this year. So he's got a pretty solid roster, and to top it off, he had Omarion Hampton on his bench, now Najee Harris is hurt, so now he's got another guy just getting full carries from a number 1 perspective.
Yep. And it sucks, right? Because when you're in that position, you see a guy pop off on your bench for almost 20 points, and you're like start second guessing. But he's got a pretty good running back room, right? Jordan Mason now, ETN, and Amari Hampton. So he's got some great options that he can go with. So he'll be in that situation where he's got to figure out what are the best matchups look like. Who are the players? What is
going to get the most volume there? Yeah, you can't really fault them for benching Omarion Hampton after he was looking pretty rough those first 2 weeks, and then it was seeming like after the fumble, Najee Harris was put in at the end of that game 2 weeks ago now, and he was going to be stealing more time from Hampton, and the torn Achilles really set him back, and it just paved the way for Hampton, and he looked pretty good out there.
Oh, he looked really good. I mean, as soon as he got in, and he was tearing it up. So good for Martin Hampton and. Romo. I think Romo definitely benefited with that positive game script for Jordan Mason. The Vikings, just annihilated. The Cincinnati. Cincinnati's just a train wreck right now.
The Vikings defense annihilated them. We'll get to that in a second here.
Yeah. So, but that was a positive game script, and so Jordan Mason was able to capitalize on that. So good for him. But close game. But Angel, now he's sitting at 2-1, and typically one of those. Players who has again, we talk about zero RB strategy. Angel's pulling it off, right? He's getting it done.
If you can get your quarterback to put up 32 points, that's really going to help you push it forward. He got another 11 from his tight end, who's not even up here. When you're getting 10, 11, 12 points from your tight end, you're going to be feeling pretty good. Combined with 32 from your quarterback, I mean, that's already halfway to a win just with two positions.
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
it's working out. Angels doing what Rob couldn't do last season. So
Yeah, exactly. Proving them wrong that it actually can work.
Yeah, we'll see if the Javonte Williams things keep up, right? I mean, they got a tough matchup this week against Packers versus Cowboys.
Yep.
But we'll see. But if he can get some production still, just kind of for production from his RB, Rashad White is getting him 6-7 points. And if he has one or two wide receivers pop off in his quarterback, he'll be okay.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right, let's get into the next matchup. So, Angel, congratulations. We're going to talk about our first 0-3 team here on the season, which
That's
is
right in the same division. Yeah, Romo and same division here.
Yeah, Ricky versus Carlos.
Yeah, that's right.
And again, another
Thursday night football
for Ricky. Another Thursday night football catastrophe for Ricky. He wasn't happy about it. He was very upset seeing what was happening out there. And Ricky's made it very, very clear that he hates Thursday night football.
That's right. Yeah. And James Cook had another good game.
Oh my goodness. He just ran off.
It's Ricky.
Yeah. He's watching James Cook pop off for 18 points. And probably Cook should have got over 20. I mean, but they definitely pulled the play calling back a little bit for some reason. It's kind of but yeah, I felt like
I think Ricky already. I mean, it's happened 2 weeks in a row. This time he hit Carlos with the reverse jinx before halftime of the first games, I believe, on Sunday.
Yeah, he
trying to credit him with the win and good job, Carlos. He was already pulling that voodoo early on.
Pulled it early on, and Ricky's been very, very sly, very strategic when he's dropping the reverse jinx for sure.
That is timing of it.
Yeah, especially the timing of it. That's right. So I mean, Carlos put up a respectable score, 82. I'd say Emeka Buka, still a good score, 9.
Yeah, but Mike Evans going out, he'll start to draw, the top defenders on the other team now.
Yeah. I think the one thing that's holding Carlos's team back is Ashton Genty. I mean, it's been tough sledding for the poor guy.
First round pick. When you have a first round pick that's kind of busting like he has been. I saw a stat going around online. Apparently he has 144 total yards on the season, or 144 total rush yards on the season. 146 of them are after contact. That's how often he's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. He's getting no help back there. That's an insane stat.
Insane stat. I think Chase Brown has a similar type of stat, right? Like some negative behind the yard
line of scrimmage. Yeah, but he doesn't have more yards after contact than total,
Yeah, so no, I feel bad for Ashton Genty. I thought the Raiders shored up that offensive line. It seems obviously they haven't. And when you put that much in your first round pick, right, you're expecting your first round pick to be 17 to 20 point a week type of player, right? That's why you draft him in that first round slot. And definitely, I've seen another stat. I think players that have had Ashton Genty more often or not are 1 and 2 or 0 and 3 to start their fantasy season right now as well. So
he's a big contributor to that. Yeah, I mean, we knew the Raiders would be a bottom half offensive line team, but we didn't know they would be dead last. It's been rough out there for them. But luckily, Cook in the second round is helping pick up the slack. It hasn't translated to wins yet. He had Kittle get hurt early on in that very first game, and that was, I believe, his third round pick, maybe fourth round pick, and that's a guy who he was going to rely on to really help boost his scores. So once he gets Kittle back in another couple weeks, it'll be a little bit better for him. But he did give up on the two quarterbacks he drafted right after week 1 and pick up Justin Fields and Jared Goff. So I kind of feel like that made his team a little bit weaker. So I don't feel as confident about this team the way it's looking right now as I did before the week 1 started.
Yeah, we still were talking about that Bo Nix drop. We were both very surprised by that. And even Justin Fields, like I felt like that was a good pickup. And even though Justin Fields got hurt, I mean, I would, if I was looking for a QB, I would probably start Justin Fields this week on Monday night.
I just feel like he's very matchup dependent, and he had a second quarterback, so maybe he was planning on playing those matchups. But against weaker teams, if you play Fields and he's running all over them, throwing the ball to Garrett Wilson, it's going to be a pretty explosive day. But if he's going against a tougher defense, I can see him, subbing in for one of his other quarterbacks. Maybe that would be Jared Goff, and you can get a little less volatile output out of them.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get more level, output, more floor output from Jared Goff, right? He's going to get you the 12 to 17 point range right in there, which is fine for a quarterback. But you're not going to see Jared Goff pop off for 30, point game like a Caleb Williams, maybe 2 or 3 times in the season.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. So, I don't think Carlos's team is the worst team in the league, even though he's sitting at 0-3 right now. I believe he's the only one at 0-3 in our league right now. I don't believe his team is the worst team. Maybe he's just run into obviously some bad injury luck and maybe some tough matchups. I mean, Ricky put up 103 on him. He may actually have the most points against in our league. It looks like it's him and Ruben, which are pretty close together. So both teams he's running are having the most points go against him. But yeah, you got to give credit to Ricky. I mean, having that Vikings defense get him 41 points is almost half the total, and he put up 103 because of it.
Carlos made a point of that. Like, is it the highest score we've seen as a defense ever in the league? And I think he was reaching out to the historian of the league, which is you. So were you able to find some details on that? Was it the highest score?
Oddly enough, I did find, I guess it was in 2012, that Legion of Boom Seahawks defense put up 43 points against the Arizona Cardinals as a defense. So I think this may actually be the second or third highest. But yeah, 43 points is going to be tough to beat. But I mean, Minnesota, they tried against that backup quarterback in Cincinnati. But yeah, I mean, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, that was a monster afternoon. I'm sure Ricky was riding
because
high.
I mean, if they get 20 points from your defense is a really good day, as you saw with the Colts. If they get half that, then all of a sudden this is a really close matchup.
Yeah, no, it popped off, and Ricky was lucky because Nick Chubb was terrible. Marvin Harrison was terrible. CeeDee Lamb got hurt. He put up a goose egg. So it was tough sledding for Ricky in the streets, but that game turned it all around for him.
Wow. Yeah, getting that Vikings defense, really turned it around. Tucker Kraft, the guy he traded for midweek, comes up with this knee injury, that all of a sudden was kind of mysterious. Did he get hit by his own guy? They didn't say it was non-contact. So I think he was starting to worry early on. And then you see James Cook put up 18 on Thursday Night Football. And I'm sure he was really clenching going into Sunday.
Yeah. So obviously he put in a bid for that Vikings defense on the waiver wire, right? And was that a free ad that he did? It must have been.
For the Vikings, he actually drafted them.
Oh, he drafted them.
Yeah, he took him in the draft. Right. Yeah.
All right. So, all right, solid.
Yeah, I don't know if other people would have let him get away with a free bid on that defense.
Yeah. No, he drafted them.
Yeah.
And the output's been good so far. Number one defense in fantasy. Yeah, obviously.
If you score 41, you're going to be number one for a while until other teams catch up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Ricky's sitting at 2-1, even though he's had a bunch of injuries and a bunch of things not go his way, but he's staying afloat.
Made a trade, one of the people trading in our league. So he got a couple trades off. Actually, these two teams traded with each other before this week started.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. So
it was a Blake Corum and Zach Ertz swap, and in replacement, who did Ricky give him? Deebo Samuel. So that was the guy that actually was vetoed in the trade with me. Carlos ended up scooping them up. Clever move to go ahead and take Blake Corum. And as you can see, Kyron was Ricky's second highest score. So Ricky traded for that handcuff, and he needed tight end help because he wasn't sure about Kraft. So it was a sneaky little trade right there that kind of helps both sides out.
Yeah, very smart by Ricky to pick up that handcuff. That's always a good move. Very good move.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we'll see. I don't think Carlos's losing streak's going to go on too much longer, but
Carlos plays himself this weekend. So
he plays. Oh, does he now? Okay, so we'll see which team he kind of plays with the lineups to see which of his two teams he wants to win this week.
That's right.
Is he going to put all the eggs in the basket of his minor league team and try and push them towards the playoffs, or does he really want to get at least a dub on the scoreboard?
So combined with Carlos's two teams, he's 1-5. So we'll see what teams.
That's brutal.
But so far the projected total that Santa Fe Street Spot Me will win 93-86. But we know those projections are always whack. But I mean, he's going up against Cam Scattaboo, who's going to be starting this week, and Bucky Irving, and Baker's going up against Philly defense. So that's a plus matchup for Carlos right there. But
that's right. Neither of them played on Thursday night, so it'll be a full Sunday matchup.
Yeah, so we'll see who comes out on top in this one.
And I'll be excited to watch it.
That'll be very, very interesting.
Yeah. And maybe next we might have our most surprising matchup of the week. At least to me, this was the most surprising here. Javi had a pretty dominant 2-0 start. It was almost high score of the week the first week, and had the high score of the week, was it last week, robbed from him in week 2?
It was taken from after Monday night. Yes,
that's right. Correct. It was robbed from him. So yeah, he's put up a lot of good points. I don't know if it exists. He's claiming podcast voodoo was placed on his team. And so as you can see here, Edgar, who ended up beating him 103-77 here, even with the Jonathan Taylor 31 point output.
Yeah, Javi's in on the Colts just like me. Right?
Well, at least a much smaller piece of the pie.
yeah. Jonathan Taylor's a big part of that piece, right? So
that's true. That's true. Yeah, smaller piece of the pie, but a lot more flavor.
Yeah, that's right. But it was a great matchup. I mean, Patrick Mahomes kind of was going back to the old. We had talked about Patrick Mahomes before.
That's right.
NFL quarterback, but fantasy, and he's been a stud over the first couple weeks because he's been running so much, and he's been throwing
he leads the quarterbacks in rush yards.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but this is kind of the Patrick Mahomes I had on my team last year. You'd get maybe 25, 26 points one week, and you're like, here we go, matchup against the Giants. This is going to be a great week for him. Gives you 10, in a really positive matchup. Dak Prescott went off against this defense, and you barely get double digits with Mahomes there. You expect a lot more out of him.
Yeah, it's weird, those games. I mean, I know he's still dealing with injuries and still dealing with Xavier Ward not being there, Rashee Rice, but
Yep.
Kelsey's just been so I mean, that game was, a nationally televised game, and it just, you could see the frustration on all their faces. Very, very evident.
Yeah. And so there's been a lot of trade rumors with the Chiefs trying to bring in another receiver. So we'll see if they end up doing that to really give them some help. But I am curious if this does continue with Mahomes, if Javi makes a little play at quarterback. There's been a lot of quarterback switching already, 3 weeks into this year between our fantasy teams. I do wonder how much longer he's going to keep riding the Mahomes train.
If he gets 2 more weeks of Mahomes under 15 plus points, he'll probably make a move. I think he'll stick with them in the short term.
A lot of it will depend on what's out there as well at that point. He scooped up Jordan Love, so that probably would have been a guy Javi would love to have, especially this week.
I mean, you look at KC's next 4 games, Baltimore this weekend, which is going to be a fun one, right? They should force them to throw the ball. Jacksonville the week after that. Again, another Detroit after that.
Oh, another fun one.
Yeah, and then Las Vegas. So the next 4, so maybe in the next 4 weeks, even Washington after that. So and Buffalo. The next 6 weeks are potential games where Mahomes is going to have to throw the ball 30 plus times. So
maybe not against the Raiders, but I mean everyone else.
Yeah. But even with the Raiders, like those are divisional games, right? He loves carving up the Raiders. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But
if he didn't have such a good game from Jonathan Taylor, maybe he could have actually taken my spot as lowest score of the week. But alas, no, it did not happen. So what do you think of Javi's team moving forward? Actually,
I think Brees is going to be fine. I think he got in a weird game script with Tampa Bay. Same with Jaylen Warren. I think he's been excellent. Jaylen Warren's usage has been off the charts. I mean, he's getting the ball 80% of the plays that he's running out there on the field. So Malik Neighbors being shut down like that against KC's defense. The Giants are going to go through the quarterback change now. I mean, Russ Wilson went off against the Cowboys, but I mean, if you look at the rest of the season, he's been awful. Awful.
Don't forget, Javi had Mark Andrews and got sick of him after 2 weeks, got rid of him, picked up Isaiah Likely and rolled with the rookie in his starting lineup, Loveland, who got him, 3 points. He had a long catch for 31 yards, but man, Javi would have loved to keep Mark Andrews just one more week.
One more week would have got him the dub, probably, or close to it. Yeah. Well, maybe.
No, I think he would have needed 30. It would have gotten him in the 90s, though.
I see what worries me about Baltimore is you're going to have these volatile weeks where Isaiah Likely is going to go off 1 week and then it'll be an Andrews game. They throw it around too much, right? That was the worry with when I saw you getting your player Zay Flowers. I was like, okay, there's going to be weeks where he's going to have down weeks, but then there's going to be weeks when he pops off for 30 plus points. So, they move that ball around too much. That does drive me a little nuts. So with 2 tight ends that talented and Mark Andrews, that really fed him the ball after the first 2 weeks, not giving the ball at all. So, very, very strange. So that's going to be it's one of those things where you're gonna have to take a gamble on the tight end and just hope that this is the week he pops off when you're in a close matchup, right?
That's right. Yeah, and I think he's really hoping because Loveland was the guy he drafted. He had some pretty decent preseason hype coming in. He was like the 8th or 9th pick overall by the Bears, and now that Bears offense is looking a lot better. So I think Loveland's really the guy that he's hoping comes through for him, and maybe he'll just cut likely instead of playing that roller coaster game and move on with someone else.
Yeah, if the Bears keep throwing the way they are,
I mean, I think they have to with Swift back there. They don't have much of a choice.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of DeAndre Swift. I got a couple people offered him this week to me. I was like, no thanks.
Oh, okay.
yeah, not in this league, in other leagues, but
okay.
There's a lot of people who are trying to capitalize on the early, somewhat success of DeAndre Swift. I'm not buying it though.
Yeah. And in fairness to Javi, when you look, across the aisle over here at the top 3 scorers on Edgar's team, Josh Allen, you expect to be up there. Yeah. And then you see Seattle defense and his kicker. This is kind of like the kind of output Andrew puts up. I mean, he's putting up 103 with his defense getting him, 20 plus, and his kicker getting him 15 plus. I mean, if they kind of have more normalized days, Javi's really in this matchup.
Yeah. I mean, what did the Seahawks didn't put up 23 points tonight, right? Against a porous Cardinals offense. I mean, what they get?
Oh, yeah. 14? No, definitely not. Yeah.
They definitely lost some points there late in the game by letting.
They got 16 there. Yeah. 16? Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And then, McLaughlin's going up against the Philly next week, Tampa Bay versus Philly. So
yeah, you expect him to get a lot less.
Oh yeah. So he's got to hope that Kenneth Walker. And I don't think Kenneth Walker had a massive game tonight, right? What do you
he didn't get any touchdowns, but yeah, he got some good yardage.
Yeah. So again, Edgar's team is really predicated on that Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, heavy front end lift. Yep. He lost Mike Evans this week, right? Mike Evans is out for 4 weeks. So I'm lucky there because I had made a couple offers for Mike Evans a couple weeks ago. I got very, very lucky there. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, that would have hurt. That would have stung.
Yep. Yeah.
So I would say I'm not that I'm if I look at these two teams, which I'm more confident. I'm definitely confident in Javi's team more. Because I believe in league neighbors. I believe in Ladd McConkey,
Jonathan Taylor,
Taylor, and Breece Hall. Yeah, those 4 players.
Yep.
He has more talent spread across his roster than when I see Cooper Kupp and David Njoku, and then he lost Mike Evans and James Conner in the same weekend. So yeah, Edgar's got some big gaps to fill with his team.
Yeah, indeed. I agree. Indeed, he does. I'm hoping Javi can have another rough week next week, but with a team like his, it's pretty unlikely. Usually you might have one down week and then you rebound pretty well. So we'll see what happens in our matchup. Hopefully it's a preview of the finals. We'll see, but I doubt it.
Oh, I think you're going to see Jonathan Taylor not get held in check by the Rams, but not put up 31. I think that'll be a closer game. Yeah. The Rams defense is much better, but I think Breece Hall will have this is a week against Miami's defense where Breece Hall could pop off. So
yeah, it's possible.
That's one where you don't have to kind of wince when you watch that game.
Yeah, we saw what James Cook did, so I wouldn't be surprised if Breece Hall does something similar.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then on to probably our least favorite matchup of the week. We have Andrew going against, what did Carlos write? Ruben. That's right. That's what Carlos wrote here. Andrew versus Ruben.
Andrew, riding high, going 2-0 to start
very
the season.
High.
Oh, he took me down week 1, made it very, very clear that he kept all those snippets that I had said about him. And I know he sent you a similar message in week 2, riding high.
Yep, indeed.
He goes
Not a lot of videos being sent out this week, though, are there, Andrew?
But he goes up against Carlos's B team, and lo and behold, you only put up a low 80s score, and you see a bunch of single-digit outputs across his team, and his double-digit outputs weren't very high, 16 being the highest point total with Garrett Wilson. So. Yeah, kind of welcome back to reality a little bit. Right? That kind of happens.
This is more of what we expected. Yeah. Now, Aubrey scoring him 6 points instead of 26. So how's it feel, Andrew, when your kicker doesn't get 20 plus points in a matchup? Oh, it doesn't look so good.
That's right. Yeah, when you have a defense putting up 20 and a kicker putting up 15, you're riding high. But that is not typical of what's going to happen.
No. Yeah. And from Ruben's side, I mean, AJ Brown's alive. People were burying him. They were having his funeral across the land. Halftime, I think he had 1 catch for 6 yards. And then that second half, he was just bullying people. His touchdown, he just literally ran up to the guy, boxed him out right across the goal line, put his hands up, and the ball came right to him. So AJ Brown had a little bit of a get-right game here.
I made some offers for AJ Brown over the last couple weeks, and
So did I.
unsuccessful.
Yeah, I think it went to Carlos's. I don't know if Carlos checks that email very often. I don't know if he even saw him.
But yeah, I was hoping that we could capitalize on that because it's AJ Brown, right? He's not gonna be forever. And actually, he helped me in the matchup in our other league as well. That I had against you. So
no, I don't know.
So it was nice to see AJ Brown be AJ Brown again.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it could be, he had a hamstring injury in preseason and training camp, so it could have lingered into the beginning part of the year. But it's starting to look healthy again. And I would be remiss not to point out, Ruben had the Ravens defense on Monday night get him -2. It still didn't matter. He still clobbered Andrew here by 9 points.
By 9 points. See, when you have a defense put up a negative spot, that typically is bad news for you. And it didn't even matter. I mean, Andrew couldn't get nothing from Alvin Kamara, got nothing from BTJ. What's your concern level for BTJ?
On Thursday, but the BTJ thing, it seems pretty concerning at this point. A lot of my research shows he hasn't been great against zone coverage, and so teams are playing a ton of zone coverage against the Jaguars. He doesn't settle into those zones. He just keeps running through into the next defender. For some reason, when Trevor Lawrence is throwing to him, he can't throw on target. They're starting to open up these other weapons. You got Strange out there scoring touchdowns, Parker Washington. They're still trying to force Travis Hunter in and mix him in on offense. So all of a sudden, Travis Etienne's catching balls out of the backfield. So all of a sudden in Jacksonville, there's looking like a lot of mouths to feed. And for some reason, when Trevor Lawrence is throwing to the backup receivers, receiver 3, receiver 4s, and the tight end, he has a great quarterback rating. He can't throw on target to BTJ. Something's off with their chemistry. So there is some concern going forward. It can't be much worse than it has been these first 3 weeks. So maybe he'll be, I don't know, maybe he's on the trade block. I haven't really talked to Andrew about it much, but I am a bit concerned with him specifically moving forward.
I mean, we're talking 7 points week 1, 4 points week 2, and 5 points week 3. So pretty poor. And then he's got San Francisco this coming weekend. So
that's right. Yeah, which is suddenly looking like a tough defense once again. So that's. I mean, he hasn't been as bad as Genty. Genty was a first-round pick. BTJ being a second-round pick. But he's a guy that's really going to kill you because you never want to bench him. So you're always going to have him in your lineup. Then he gives you 4 points again. So it almost hurts worse than a guy who doesn't have as big of a name putting out this output because you're not afraid to bench that guy like you would be BTJ. And you just know the 1 week Andrew benches him, he's going to have his 20-pointer.
Oh, yeah. I would say Andrew's best value pick, still riding his bench, Quinshawn Junkins. So he's done this, I think, back-to-back weeks now, right, where he didn't start him. So
yeah. I mean, maybe I don't know how in touch with football Andrew is. Maybe he still thinks he's unsigned. Maybe he still thinks he might be suspended. I'm not quite sure why he's leaving him on his bench because he's looked pretty good out there. Even against the Packers defense, he looked good.
He was running all over him. It was very, very surprising. So as I kept seeing him getting those big chunk yardages, I was like, okay, well, he's on the bench, not hurting anybody. But yeah, he looks good. And maybe Andrew will be smart enough to start him this week. We'll see.
We'll see. I doubt it.
Now there is a matchup against Detroit, right? So if Detroit starts popping off those and getting those big scores, is he going to be productive, right? Are they going to run the ball? I doubt it.
He's not really a guy who catches the ball in the backfield. That's more Dylan Sampson for them.
Yep. So two tough matchups coming up: Detroit and Minnesota next week for Judkins. So we'll see if he comes back down to earth a little bit here.
We will. Yeah.
But Carlos, good job on your first victory of the season.
Oh yeah, good job. Yeah, I guess going into this, he was 0-4, wasn't he?
So he's got his first one, and Andrew, your first loss of the next year, and Andrew's next opponent is against Romo. So this will be fun. Yeah, we'll see.
That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Andrew goes 500 and how he responds, and we'll talk about Andrew's activity in the waiver wire section. He seems to
indeed he will. It's been interesting.
He wants to be the highlight of the waiver wire every week. So
and in order to do that, you got to spend money, and that's he's comfortable spending his girlfriend's money.
She got that. I get that part of it. I'm on board with him.
I know you are. Yeah, I know you are.
Don't spend your own money. If she makes money, you
Right.
spend that money. That's right.
Exactly. That's a smart way to do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let's finally wrap up this matchup with probably the funnest matchup of the week.
Oh, yes. Coming down to Monday Night Football.
You got to love these Monday Night Miracles, right?
Yep.
We can definitely call this
brothers too, you know?
It was going into the weekend, Alex was definitely in dire straits, not looking great.
Rob had who was 0-2 going into the matchup.
Yep, 0-2. Rob's got 1-2. Looking to probably secure his, or was 1-1 at the point, trying to secure a second win. And
that's right.
Rob got a pretty good output, except Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown has been a draft pick that's really, really hurt him.
Yeah, gave him a big goose egg, and he wasn't hurt. He was out there.
Yeah. Just the Cincinnati offense is in shambles right now. They got to figure something out. But
really is. Shows you how good Joe Burrow actually is.
Yeah. But across the board, I mean, he got double digits from Dak, from Tony Pollard, Devontae Adams, Ricky Pearsall, Jake Ferguson. I mean, fine outputs, right? Really good. So you thought his 36-point lead heading into Monday Night Football was secure enough.
Yeah. Or I think it was 37. 38 points. 37.
Yeah. And Alex had David Montgomery and Lamar Jackson.
He's got the backup running back for the Lions and the QB for the Ravens. And all Rob needs is for them not to combine for 39 points.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And what happened? I mean, Lamar
all the way until halfway through the fourth quarter, though, he was still looking pretty good. He needed Rob was still looking good halfway through that fourth quarter.
So Lamar was actually projected for 22, which you expect, right? But he got the 20. Yeah, that's it. But Dave Montgomery projected for 10 points, right? And so not until that massive
fourth quarter touchdown.
Yeah, well, he got that.
Goff was yelling at him to slide.
He got that first touchdown early in the first quarter, that 1 yard run.
You expect that.
Yeah, but he early in the fourth quarter, he broke open what was that 60-yard run, and he's not fast enough to outrun these DBs.
No, not anymore.
If it was Gibbs, he would have been off to the races. But Montgomery got caught from behind and everything. But then just a few plays later, later in the fourth quarter, as you said, it was kind of a go down, just get first down. Essentially, it's all Goff wanted to, right? Get first down, close the game out. But Montgomery said, "No way, I'm going to take my 30-yard scamper and take it to the house."
That's right. He sure did, and it flipped the matchup. Yeah, and I mean, in the first half of this game, and even part of the third quarter, Gibbs was getting hit in the backfield. The Ravens were keying in on Gibbs when he was in there getting the handoffs. He wasn't looking all that great. They made a switch up partway through the second quarter where they just started on one of the drives, just put Montgomery out there and just kept hammering and had that, 92-yard touchdown on that drive. It was mostly Montgomery doing the work out there.
Oh, yeah.
That really wore down that defensive line for the Ravens.
That was a 10-minute plus drive that Detroit did in the second. Yeah, and you could see that it wore down that Ravens defensive line, and it showed later in the game. They couldn't tackle anymore. They were exhausted. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, it was a great strategy there by Dan Campbell and the Lions.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that the tandem of Gibbs and Montgomery.
They work well together.
It's produced. They're the only tandem in NFL history that have both scored in the same game 11 times.
Oh wow! Okay,
that's more than any other twosome running back.
I mean, I feel like we've had other strong running back tandems, but it only lasts for a year. Maybe the other guy's on his way out, maybe 2 years. But this is going on 3 years plus.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's cool to see. You love seeing when teams can support two running backs and
they keep each other fresh too.
Yeah, they're both in the fourth quarter. 30-yard runs and making it look easy, it's the first quarter. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. So this is probably going to be the best game of Montgomery's whole season, but it came just at the right time for Alex to keep him from going 0-3.
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. They do have Cleveland next week. That's going to be a tough matchup. So I definitely don't see him having that similar output. I mean, they shut down Josh Jacobs. This is last week. Cleveland defense did. So I definitely see more Gibbs in the game script, as they're going to need to pass it out to the flat a little bit more and try to get yards in the air.
Yeah,
from the running back
position. A little bit of time.
Yep. So we'll see how that goes. But Alex, congrats. Everybody was worried about you, but you got that W.
Well done to you. Yeah, keep feeding firefighters food or whatever it is you do.
Yeah. Rob, Chase Brown, though, I think that's a real conversation there. I mean, it's 3 games now. We talk about running back inefficiency and running backs who have not lived up to the hype. Genti was one of those players so far. I think Chase Brown's preseason hype buzz was off the charts.
Oh, yeah, especially with how he finished last year.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He was a beast in the last month of the season. My goodness.
Yes.
And, he started the season off fine, 10 points against Cleveland's defense, right? Punching a touchdown. You're like, okay, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
And then Jacksonville cut that in half to 5 points and then 0 points this week against Minnesota.
Yeah, it's trending the wrong direction. And when you look at, Rob's team in this past week, he got 7 points out of combined, 7 points combined from his first and second round draft picks. And they're not hurt. It's just Jacobs had a rough day against Cleveland and Brown's just having a rough day against everybody.
It's concerning to me because if you're a starting RB who's not hurt and you put up a goose egg, that's a very, very, very red alarm, red alert,
red flag.
Yeah.
Wave it around.
Wide receivers, tight ends all the time will put up goose eggs, but starting running back getting a goose egg is
getting 90% of the volume. Yeah.
Yeah. That is pretty bad. And I don't think it's Chase Brown's fault. I think the offensive scheme right now is not good. That offensive line is just as bad as the Raiders, right?
The offensive scheme is exactly as it was last year and the year before. It's the offensive line letting them down, and of course the QB not being able to back guys up.
Yeah. So Jake Browning's got to figure it out and see what he can do, and and it's affecting everybody's production. It's affecting Chase. It's affecting Higgins. It's affecting their tight end. Was their tight end?
I don't know who it is right now. Actually, is he even owned in our league?
No, he's not on the roster right now. But it's bad all around for the offense. So we'll see if Cincinnati can find a way to turn it around. But I mean, at this point, with them playing Denver this coming weekend, and for me, everybody on Cincinnati's offense is a sit right now. I mean, outside of Chase, I just would not start anyone.
Yeah, outside of Jamar Chase, you can't even start their defense. Yeah, definitely not. No.
So ugly scenario for Cincinnati there. So hopefully Chase will be able to do something. But yeah, that's one of those picks that's going to probably sting for next couple weeks here.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe for as long as Burrow's out, that's going to be a rough one. And going ahead and looking ahead, Rob gets to play Carlos's B team, so maybe he can have an easy week for his team to get a little bit on track and go against Carlos's backup team. And I don't know. Yeah, after coming off the win, maybe Ruben does kind of falter a little bit here, but Rob might not. His first 2 picks not looking all that great yet. He could be, even though he was your pick to finish top 4, a guy who misses the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh no, Rob plays Angel this week, so.
Oh, does he? Okay, so he's got Angel. I think week 5 is what I had. Yeah, I have week 5. So that's even tougher for him, man.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah,
but Angel only got 6 points from McBride tonight, so
okay,
kind of a whole output. Ricky actually got 13 points from Marvin Harrison tonight, which is
that touchdown saved the day, and then that last drive also he looked at him a couple times.
Yeah, so Ricky's starting in a good position spot already against Edgar.
Well, yeah, Edgar had Seattle.
3 players play already. Yep.
Yeah.
So he got the Seattle defense 16 points. I mean, Marvin Harrison almost matched that. He got more than Kenneth Walker, and Cooper Kupp. So those players combined.
Edgar still wants to play Cooper Kupp. He hasn't really had all that great of a season yet, but he's still putting him into the lineup. I guess I understand with Evans getting hurt, but I guess the guys on his bench is Joe Mixon, Dalton Schultz, and for some reason Devin Singletary. So congrats on your win, Ricky.
Oh, I love it. The early call.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do it too. Ricky's really good at the reverse jinx, but let's say I'm gonna give Ricky the win this week. Yeah,
I'm gonna give him the win as well. There's no reverse jinx, no regular jinx. This is just a good old fashioned handshake and a congratulations, Ricky. Well done. You can look on to week 5.
Yeah, I'm surprised Edgar wouldn't have gone. Instead of picking up Singletary, I would have picked up. There was plenty of wide receiver options on the waiver wire, so
Well, and he's a running back, but yeah, he could have picked up a receiver to kind of.
I'm saying, yeah, to offset the Evans instead of playing Cooper Cup. I mean,
if he wanted one, he'd have to spend $45.
Possibly, but I mean,
yeah, you got some high bidders out there.
Darnell Mooney out there. You got Christian Kirk. You got Marvin Mims. I mean, so all those guys potentially, better plays than Cooper Cup right now. So very, very interesting. Yeah. But let's get into the next phase here. So now we've played everyone in our division. Now we're going to go outside our divisions, right? The Allen's divisions all play each other. Barkley divisions all play each other. Chase divisions all play each other.
Yep, that's right. This is the last week of the intra-division matchups that we had was in week 3. Now we go inter-division so we can see which divisions are really the strongest here. And for the most part, it's pretty bunched up. The one exception being over there in the Chase division. But still at the top, they're all bunched up at 2-1, kind of beating each other at the top. And Carlos just taking L's to everyone right now. Yeah.
Very, very not surprising, just probably unfortunate there, unlucky for Carlos. But
yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, it's still Genty not being what he expected is really also hurting his team.
Yeah. But so many 2-1 teams. I mean, there's at least 2-1 teams in all 3 divisions. The only division that has 3 2-1 teams is the Chase division. So
that's right. And then it's very bunched up. Even there's only one guy who's 0-3. So everyone else besides Carlos is just one game back out of being out of first place.
Oh yeah. After this week, it could be a lot of 2-2 teams.
There, yeah, it very well could be. From maybe 1st to 8th, there could be 2-2 teams.
Yeah. So very, very cool to see. I love seeing that. I love the parody, right?
Oh yeah, you love it when the playoff seeding goes all the way to the last week. It's not as much fun if the week before the final week of the regular season you already know the 8 teams that are in there. You want to keep it close and stacked to where someone could jump from hey they're in 11th and then all of a sudden week 14 they jump up to 7th.
If you see the 5th slotted team and the 9th slotted team are within a game of each other, that makes that weekend so fun.
Exactly. Yeah, everything becomes a lot more serious, a lot more meaningful.
Yeah. The waiver wire, if you have any fab left, is the fab budget.
Spend it unless you're Ricky.
Unless you're Ricky, yeah. Ricky and Javi, they will not spend that money. But good on them, right? That's how they operate. They do just fine. But we definitely have people spending money in our league, and again, we'll get to that. And I'm excited to talk about it. But
any predictions, Manny, on which division is going to end up kind of having the best, which is going to be the strongest? Once we kind of look back, we're in what is that going to be week 11, and we look back to see how the inner division goes, and we'll have standings there just to see only on how everyone fared outside of their own division. Any prediction on who's going to end up kind of having the best record? From like a whole division point of view.
I would say, because Barkley division is very top heavy. Javi is clearly, for me, far and away the best team in that division.
Okay.
I'm hoping Rob can still make some moves and get into that 2nd slot, but I don't think he'll have as many wins as Javi will. So,
okay.
I think that Chase division is really only because Romo and Ricky's teams are. Ricky's done a good job of maneuvering and getting himself wins, and and
making trades.
Making trades, right? He's active. Romo's team is solid, doing well, but he's definitely he's got to put together a few more wins to stay up there. And then Angel's the biggest surprise, right? Angel with his 0 RB strategy.
0 RB,
if he continues to get wins, I mean, they'll probably have the most wins because Carlos will not stay 0-3. Probably he'll beat himself this week and he'll get that W. So
you got to give him one.
Yeah, exactly. So the wins will be there. I think the Barkley will be most top heavy, and I think you'll see most playoff teams actually come out of the Allen division.
Oh, okay. I like it. So
I'm saying Andrew might make the playoffs. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Do you think Ruben or Carlos's B team has a shot?
Ruben's gonna have some struggle. Ruben's gonna have some struggle getting into the playoffs. I think this is just a learning curve for him. You see, he's not doing a lot of action on the waiver wire. He'll learn quickly that is not a good strategy. You got to really invest in yourself. Yeah, you gotta be on it and spend up a little and spend up a lot sometimes. Get your guy, as we say. So
if you want to make the playoffs,
yeah. So when you guys that go down and you got guys that are not performing, you just got to make a switch. You can't be afraid to pivot, right? Or you just got to pivot. And I drafted Kyler Murray and Jordan Love. Both of them are not on my roster anymore after week 3.
Yeah.
I made a massive pivot very quickly. I was like, nope, all right.
So did Carlos.
Yeah, so
yeah,
you pivot, move on, and you try your
hope for
best
better days.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, I think the most wins will come out of the Chase group, but I think top heavy's Barkley group. I think Allen will have 3 teams that get into the playoffs. So
okay, I like it.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to some NFL surprises.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and it just because this, teams like this have massive fantasy implications, and who really we have drafted so many players from these teams, or players who are not drafted from these teams, but have really shined and forced us to make acquisitions and put them on their rosters. But starting with the Ravens, I mean, we're talking with the Ravens with Zay Flowers, we're talking Lamar Jackson, King Henry, right, Derrick Henry, and Mark Andrews, who was just dropped. That was also a big thing. Isaiah Likely. So the Ravens, even though they're like a high-powered offense, starting 1-2 in the season was shocking. The 2 games they lost against the Bills and against
I mean, when you look at who they lost to, it's not as shocking. It wasn't like they had an embarrassing loss to the Browns or anything like that. I mean, you should swap out the Ravens for the Chiefs here. They're the team that really should be concerned moving forward.
Yeah, you could definitely put them in that spot. And I think that Ravens will be fine because they do have an established running game. I think Lamar's weapons are much better than Mahomes' weapons right now. But if both teams are meeting each other this weekend at 1-2, and let's say the Chiefs win that game, right? It's in Arrowhead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does it red alert for the Ravens? I mean,
no, still not yet. I mean, they still have their own division. I don't think they've played, or maybe did last week they play someone in their own division.
They play the Browns.
Yeah, so they already got 1 win against the Browns. They'll have 1 more. They still have 2 more against the Bengals. The Steelers don't look like the normal Steelers. Once they get interdivision, even though those games are really close, I can see them still winning those, maybe even going 6-0 in their division. They've only had 1 divisional game. So I think moving forward, they're going to be fine. You shouldn't be too worried. They've had some injuries on defense, so those guys will come back. Derrick Henry's fumbled like 6 times in his career, and now all of a sudden he's fumbled once a week the past 3 weeks. That will kind of heal itself. And they were big fumbles in the fourth quarter that possibly flipped, the whole game. So that's
they 100% flipped the whole game. They were game-changing fumbles. I mean, they cost his team the game.
Yeah,
well,
yeah. So you can't expect that going forward. So yeah, I think they're going to end up being fine. Do they still make the playoffs? Yeah. I'm going to say they make the playoffs.
I think it's good though from a fan's perspective if you have those offensive players, because if they're in games like this when they're having these high scoring games against the Bills, against Detroit, and if their defense is that bad, it's only good for the offensive players that you are managing on the team.
Fantasy perspective, yeah.
So I think that is encouraging, but it's you would think you'd get more consistent play out of these guys, and it's been a little erratic. The ball going with Zay Flowers starting so hot, Andrew starting so cold, and then him going off this week. So
yeah,
something to also manage.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts, though, right? Let's talk about them. They're probably the biggest surprise 3-0 team. I think
I would agree. Yeah.
And when Danny Dimes got signed by the team, everyone was like,
"There was apparently a QB competition between him and Richardson."
Yeah, I mean, everybody thought Richardson was just kind of waiting. Going to have the job. Danny Dimes was going to be a backup, but you heard all the rumblings that the team was very unhappy with Richardson, and then Danny Dimes steps in summer, and he's all of a sudden the starting QB. And the first 3 games, he's looked awesome, right? I mean, after that first game against Denver, I was like, oh, is this for real?
Yeah.
Game 2 looked good. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then again, they won last week, and it's very, very, very impressive what they've done so far. So I'm all in. I think the Colts are a good team, and it's because of the defense, right? If the defense is good,
I mean, it's because of the offense as well, man.
Yeah, but Jonathan Taylor's
their head coach was the Eagles' offensive coordinator. Steichen over there is doing a great job with the offense. And yeah, the defense does look good as well. But man, they are really putting up some points, even against some solid defenses.
So when do you think they get their first L in the season?
Oh man, I could see, as much as it pains me to say, the Rams coming off that weird, terrible choke job against the Eagles. I can see them taking this game really seriously, and probably taking that O and turning it into a 1 this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
You think the Rams beat them this week?
I think the Rams will edge them out. Now I will say that game this week, last week, where the Rams traveled to Philly. So many weird things happened in that game. I mean, the Rams were dominating that game.
2 blocked field goals.
2 blocked field goals.
Yep.
Covering the Eagles, covering the spread on the final play of the game. Very, very weird stuff. I also, games like that show a lot of you are who you are, right? In the NFL, kind of like, if you play with big mistakes that way, even though I love Sean McVay as a coach and I think they're very, very good, I think the Rams are susceptible to massive mistakes that way.
Yeah.
And so if they don't play consistently end to end, they can get, surprised there late in the game. And I think the Colts, they've been consistent wire to wire in these games, right? They won that game against Denver because they were on the flip side of that. They were the Eagles at the game against Denver where they kept it together. They stopped Denver. They've had that final game-winning play, game-winning kick.
Yep.
And
it is important to point out, though. So that game against Denver is the only real team they've beaten. Week 1, they took it to Miami, who is 0-3, and then just last week they beat up on the Titans, who also 0-3. So you got to take it with a small grain of salt. And so is it just the matchups? Did they have some favorable matchups aside from that Denver game? And that's part of why I think the Rams have looked pretty good. They've played some pretty strong teams. Obviously, with the Eagles, that easily could have been and should have been a W. The Rams are home, so I'm going to give them a few extra points for that. So yeah, I think the Colts end up going down there. I don't know if the Colts. I can see them being for real, but not a Super Bowl contender, but making the playoffs. From that perspective, yeah.
What do you think? 12-13 wins for the Colts?
I would put it closer to, let's see, I would say 11. I would go 11. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the division's not that good, right? I mean, Jacksonville.
No. I mean, it would only take 9 or 10 to actually win that division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Rams and maybe the Niners and KC are the toughest teams that they're going to see all season. On the Chargers.
The Chargers, yeah. If they happen to beat the Rams, the Chargers are probably that spot where they'll lose that undefeated streak.
Yeah, I agree. So
yeah,
looking forward to that game this weekend, though. Should be fun.
Yeah, that should be a fun. I wish it was a Sunday night game.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'd rather have that than this. I mean, besides the storyline, the Packers and Cowboys. Aside from that, it could get ugly real quick.
It's gonna get extremely ugly. I mean, Dallas is just so bad right now. That defense is the worst, one of the worst defenses I've ever seen. So, I'm a Packers fan. I'm looking forward to them getting another W. But yeah, the game, they should flex a better game in there. So
yeah.
Oh well, what are you gonna do? But let's talk about another surprise team, the Niners. Your guys there.
Let's go. That's right. That's the only good thing going with my football this year. Team's undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically playing with third stringers all over the place now. I mean,
it feels that way, and guys still getting hurt in practice. Yeah.
Oh, I know. So what's up the status on Ricky Pearsall? I know a little knee injury popped up there.
Yeah, it seems like he's limited, but they're expecting him to play.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so limited in practice, but he'll be out there on Sunday.
The only healthy person on the team is CMC.
That's figure. Right, baby. Hey, I tried telling you guys at the beginning of the year. No one listened to me. They let him fall. Yeah,
let him fall. Yeah, but he's the only healthy person. It's like it's kind of, and I'm happy about it, right? I don't want to see CMC on sidelines. I don't like seeing that. Yeah. So, but can they continue to overcome these injuries? Really,
I think a lot of it's matchup based, man. I mean, they had the Cardinals last week. We just saw them on Thursday Night Football put up another stinker. They got the Jags this week, who they've been kind of hot and cold. I think they can go 4-0 because they have this matchup against the Jags this week. Purdy should be back as well, so that'll be
Purdy's been practicing now.
He's been practicing on a limited basis again, but they're confident he's going to end up playing. It looks like.
Man,
yeah. Of course, we'll have CMC on our side as long as he can continue to keep that calf healthy. Do whatever you got to do, man. But then
he had 17 rushes last week, and then he had 10 receptions, right? And
15 targets. Yeah,
15 targets. So, is the usage concerning? Because for me, that's like out of this world.
I mean, they are still mixing in a little bit of Brian Robinson. I think once they start to get Kittle back, and then Juwan Jennings is in there consistently, and then Ayuk's back, they probably will. Those targets are going to cut down in half. He'll probably still get 15 to 20 carries depending on the game flow, but his catches will drop off, so he won't have as many total touches on the season. I don't think it, I mean, we've seen him do it in the past. It's just, I mean, he could get 5 carries a game and then still get hurt. I mean, the injuries are so random, so you never really know. I'm loving it right now. I'm hoping it continues. I'm not too concerned. The defense is really stepping up, so that's helping to keep them in games. So I don't think it's all that concerning yet. But then, of course, all it takes is one play, as we've seen with like Aaron Jones and Najee Harris, and so some of those were innocent looking plays. So I guess I'm conflicted. I don't know. I'm going back and forth. Is it concerning? Yes, kind of a little bit. But do I like it? Yes. So I'm not that concerned in real life. Yeah.
I mean, you love seeing your player get 20 to 30 touches a game, right? Like whether it's from running, get handoff or again thrown out of the backfield. You love seeing that. But with the injury history and the things of that nature, I'm like, I just want them to see them temper that, right? Average around that 20.
Yeah, but I mean, on the other side of it, if
Eh.
the team's trying to win, they really like, who else are they going to go to? Jake Tonkus out there. I mean, you can throw the Pearsall quite a bit. Teams might just start shifting their coverage towards him. Then what are you going to do?
Yeah. When does Ayuk get back? I know he's going to be.
He's eligible to come back after week 4, but it looks like they're targeting a week 6 return.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I just don't want to see, that him wear down and something bad happen to him. That's all. So.
Yeah, no, I would agree, especially in the second half of the season. They haven't even had a matchup with the Rams yet. Those games are always tough. So
I think that's Thursday. That's next Thursday night, right? Is Rams?
Is it a Thursday night game or is it the Sunday? Okay, yeah, it is. Oh man, and Ricky hates Thursday night football. It's gonna be brutal for him.
Yeah, Rams Niners next Thursday night. So
yeah,
that's gonna be very, very interesting matchup. But Purdy will be back, and but Kittle's still out, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But, we need Kittle back soon. He's a key part of the offense.
Yeah. But Niners, as I watch them, I'm like, wow, they're finding ways to win, and that's all it takes. Stay afloat.
I mean, the defense is much better. We have a real defensive coordinator again. It's been a couple years having Saleh back in there running the defense. So then they've spent their first 6 picks in the draft on the defensive players who've actually been starting and look really good out there. So as long as the defense can still hold up, especially once they start to play some of these better offenses, Shanahan, he can design plays for anyone. I mean, one of the game-winning touchdowns was to Jake Tonkus, and so I fully believe in Shanahan. Now that Saleh's back, I'm fully believing in the defense again. So I think they can continue this.
Yeah. Mac Jones is serviceable backup, right? We're learning very quickly.
Yeah,
as long as he's got time to throw, he's gonna be
first
fine.
half of the Saints game, he did look pretty scared back there, but he knocked the rust off in the second half and started looking a little more professional, a little more calm.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, we'll see what happens if they can continue that streak, and if not, they'll go up against the Rams, and that might be their first L in the season. We'll see.
It could be. Yeah, we'll see if the Rams can take it from the Colts and the Niners on back-to-back weeks.
That would be pretty. That would solidify my faith back in the Rams. They were actually an early pick of mine to make it to the NFC Championship games.
It would make up for those blocked kicks.
Yeah, that means I dropped Cardi just in time. I would have been living.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
Oh man, that would have chapped my ass real good. So it would have cost me high points.
Oh, easily. Yeah, easily. But now it's time for everyone's second favorite day of the week. First favorite day is game day. Second favorite day is waiver wire time.
Oh, waiver day. Gotta love waiver day. And ours ran yesterday. We love talking about it today, but it didn't run yesterday. But we had some high octane, high dollar value action back-to-back weeks. I love it.
Indeed. By the same guy. That's right.
So
at the top,
I'm gonna let you take it, Cody. Take number 1. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Trey Tucker. We saw him go off. Geno Smith throwing deep to him. I mean, the dude's fast. What can you say? But if you press him, he kind of gets nullified. But yeah, he had a field day, just running all over the field, and Geno was looking to him. Geno overall didn't have all that good of a day. But yeah, so he just kept targeting Trey Tucker over and over again, and he got a couple touchdowns, and Andrew saw that game, saw the highlights. Maybe Andrew didn't see the game. He just watched SportsCenter, saw the highlights, and got excited. 38 points against that Washington defense, 3 touchdowns. He's like, you know what? Someone's going to bid $44 on him. I need this man on my bench, and put $45 down. So this is back-to-back weeks where Andrew spent $40+ on a receiver who had one breakout game. and has him on his bench. I mean, it's still Thursday night. Maybe he makes some changes, but he's got Garrett Wilson and Brian Thomas in his lineup now. I find it hard to believe either one of those guys is going to actually be subbed out for, Wan'Dale Robinson or Trey Tucker. Next highest bid was 28 by Carlos. There was a lot of room where he could have, I don't know what he was thinking with that $40 bid. And it ended up being 45. So it kind of confounds me, but you love to see it. It adds money to the pot for whoever wins at the end of the year. He could have put a $75 bid down. I mean, I would have had the same reaction. So I'm surprised. And it's back-to-back weeks. He didn't even take a break. Like back-to-back weeks, he went for these receivers. He's fallen for the same trap. So if I'm excited to see Marvin Mims go off this week, have Andrew see him on SportsCenter and spend $50 on him. He's in that same style of receiver.
That is a good game right there. That's a good call. I like that. What is the next wide receiver pop off on the waiver wire that Andrew's going to drop a $40 plus bid on?
It's going to be a deep threat because we saw the Wan'Dale Robinson go off against the Cowboys, Trey Tucker going off there against Washington. It's got to be a deep threat. Some guy fast, some guy small, some guy capable of 50-yard catches. That's going to be, that'll be his next $40+ spend.
See, now I will say this: the Wan'Dale Robinson acquisition for that price, not that I understand it, but it's more I can see why someone would do that because the talent was there. Over 100+ catches last season, or targets, or over 200 targets in the season. I mean, a lot of targets were not down the field last season.
No, it's all close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but still, they have confidence and he gets volume. When I look at Trey Tucker the last 2 seasons, I mean, we're talking 34 targets in 2023. We're talking 81 targets in 2024, 47 catches. So the guy
Andrew's projecting it to keep going up.
A guy hasn't even caught 50 balls yet in his career. So
no. And he had 3 targets week 1. I mean, week 2 he did jump up to 8. Week 3, 9. So maybe Andrew just sees the stocks going up on Trey Tucker. He had to buy in.
Yeah. So I just found that to be awesome. Like I'm that's why I'm looking forward to seeing what wide receiver pop off from the waiver wire and him go nuts for.
Yeah.
Or you would think Edgar would be the guy that would need the person to go.
With Mike Evans hurt. Yeah, he's had, and especially because he also was the guy that lost James Conner. We forgot to talk about that in the matchup, but he lost both Evans and Conner in the same week.
So
and still put up a dub.
Yeah, right. Yeah, still put up. So very, very interesting. Andrew is the only person I've ever seen put big fab money down on a player and not start him back-to-back weeks. That's
back-to-back weeks.
It's pretty impressive.
Keep it up, Andrew. We love you, man.
Yeah. It looks like Judkins is in lineup for him this week, though. All right.
Okay. We'll see if that holds through Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see if it holds. But maybe he'll want to start Wan'Dale Robinson in that flex position.
In that flex spot. I hope he does.
You spend almost $90 on 2 players and they're sitting on your bench.
It makes other people scratch their heads at what you're doing.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, but what I mean, shit, Manny, what do we know? We both lost to him, so.
But it's all right. We're it's okay. We saw the unraveling happening, and we love seeing it. So
yeah, indeed, yeah. And then after that, we go to my bid, Woody Marks. I felt the need for a running back here. I like it. He's getting more and more volume. Yeah, Nick Chubb isn't quite doing it for the Texans. They need some kind of spark. Woody Marks was the guy who went to USC, and he was an explosive runner. He can also catch passes out of the backfield. I think he's a guy who could end up overtaking Nick Chubb later in the year. So I had to put a decent amount down on him. I can see you were the next highest at 14, Manny.
Yep. I think a lot of people looked at the waiver wire this week and were looking at who are the running backs that were available, right? And you could see on our list here of waiver wire. So I will say I had a lot of action on all 3 of those. So Woody Marks, Braylon Allen, and Ali Gordon, right?
Yeah.
So that was very, very key for me to understand or just get someone who I could think potentially could break out. Woody Marks was one of those guys that I saw. He has more juice than Nick Chubb.
Seems that way. Yeah. I mean, that offense overall has been kind of down this year. The offensive line is not great. They've had some injuries as well. So I don't know if it'll end up paying off, but I could see him at least overtaking the volume from Nick Chubb, and hopefully he'll get some catches out of the backfield and turn those into some big gains. That'll get me some points.
Yeah, you had 5 different members bid on him. So I mean, do we
Yeah.
even count Ricky's bid though? We can't count Ricky's $0 bids, right?
Hey, when it comes to Ricky, that's a serious bid by him. So yes, yeah. I think there were
Okay.
6 members that put in bids on him.
So all right, so 6 of us. Yeah,
Yeah. So at least most of the league was paying attention to him. So that makes me feel a little bit better about shooting so high there.
Yeah. And so for me, it was between Woody or Allie Gordon, right? And
yeah, and it looks like you spent more on Ollie Gordon, so you thought you were expecting bigger things from him.
I am. So yeah, Angel and Romo also put on Allie Gordon and swallowed. And I'm surprised because he looked really good on Thursday night, last Thursday night football's game. So he got a lot of the carries in that first quarter.
He got the goal line carry.
He got the goal line carry as well. And he's a very good complimentary back to Devon Chan, right? So where Chan is obviously going to catch everything out of the backfield, but I like Ollie Gordon running between the tackles, strong. Chan's prone to injury, so if he has something that happens up again, Allie Gordon's going to get all that work. So
he wears the same number as Mostert did. So I mean, that's kind of like bringing flashbacks to the year you traded Mostert, right, Manny?
That's right. Mostert and Evans. I traded away a championship almost that
year. Indeed.
But I like what I saw from Allie Gordon and Woody Marks. So both of them were big targets of mine, and Braylon Allen being close third. So
yeah,
and obviously you can see all 3 of those players were
ended up on the top 5 list. Yeah. And then after him, this was the guy who I had actually tried bidding on, and I initially had a $0 bid and thought like, I can see someone trying to throw a $1 bid out there on him, and then bumped it up to 2. And yeah, Carlos came off the top rope and elbowed me right in the forehead and dropped 16 on him.
A lot of sniping this week.
Sure. He's a guy who returns punts, and in our league, you get points for punt returns as well. So it's a sneaky play that Carlos likes to do because he's always the guy that drafts for Shaheed. So that's definitely something Carlos pays attention to. But he had a pretty solid game yesterday. Cooper Kupp's not looking like the old Cooper Kupp, So this is a guy who that team clearly likes. I think it was either their head coach or offensive coordinator compared him to rookie year Justin Jefferson. So I don't know if Carlos saw that interview or saw that clip and dropped 16 on him, but I do like this pickup for him. I don't think it's one that'll pay off for him. This is one where you can bench him the next few weeks. Maybe after their bye week, he gets more acclimated to the offense in NFL, and he has a strong second half of the year, just like JSN did last year.
I agree. The Cooper Kupp just doesn't have it anymore. I mean, he's a reliable possession receiver, but he's not a guy that's going to break out in the open. And last week, Horton's game was nice, obviously, with the great catch that he had and that big touchdown with 3 receptions. But this week, obviously, against Arizona, that game script was kind of weak. He only got 2 points tonight, but I agree with you.
He was still on the field, and you could see them working him in slowly but surely, No,
I'm with you. He's a stash player. You keep him for a few weeks. Watch what he does after the bye week, after week 8. Great matchup against Washington. And again against Arizona at home. So he's someone that can become a potentially true number 2 to JSN, because JSN is the number 1 on that team. And
far and away,
he needs his running mate, because teams are going to key in on him, and it's going to leave someone one-on-one wide open on the other side. So
yeah. No, I agree. So that was a good move by Carlos. I thought the highest bid I would see is $8 or $9. He went and got his guy. Theme of this year, go get your guy. And it is a pickup. It seems like you and I agree is a good move for him. The next one is a guy I actually drafted and ended up cutting. And I still don't have full confidence in him. It looks like Angel went and got his RB2 because he went 0 RB and had Rachaad White as his second running back in his starting lineup, just hoping for a goal line vulture. But now he went and got Braylon Allen, another goal line vulture type of back for the Jets, and he spent double digits on him.
I mean, I like the move personally.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. I think Braylon Allen is a good player. When he's gotten his opportunity, I think it's just about volume, right?
Seems like he's really inefficient, though. I mean, he averages like 3 to under 3 yards a carry when he got some time last year and the beginning of this year.
Yeah, but as I say, it's a volume play, right? But he can catch out of the backfield, right? And that's what's really cool about it for being his size and stuff. So I like the move because, Brees has had an injury history, and if Brees doesn't have the Braylon's getting all the work. So For me, again, he was a far and away third behind Woody Marks and Ollie Gordon for me, as far as the target goes. But I can understand why Angel would want to go. And Angel's actually started him and it has him in a starting lineup for this week. So
I mean, he needs to.
Yeah,
Mr. Zero RB himself.
And this matchup against Miami this week is a tasty one, right? I mean, this is one
It
where,
could be. But I mean, it might just be a lot of Brees Hall.
Yeah, it remains to be seen. But 7 points in the last game against Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay's defense is pretty good. So I can understand
the run.
Yeah, I can understand why Angel made that move to, take a shot on Braylon Allen. And I think there's good days ahead for Braylon Allen, and that's because their coach is a very defensive-minded coach, very conservative coach, and they will run the ball a lot more. Right? He's not an air it out type of guy.
I would think so.
So Justin Fields is not going to be throwing 30 times a game. So which means if they're giving more carries to the running backs, Braylon Allen's opportunity will increase because Brees is not going to get 100% of the workload. So
right. Yeah. I don't know. I can see Angel cutting him probably in the next 4 or 5 weeks. That after week 1, what I saw was a lot of the Brees Hall show, who was running rampant against a pretty strong Steelers defense. So I don't know. He could just be cycling through some of these backup RB goal line back guys that looking for one to kind of hit on some games where he can string together some goal line vulture carries.
So do you think he what about Kenneth Gainwell? Would you have taken a chance on him over Braylon Allen?
No, because that's also, I mean, Jalen Warren's looked really good this year. That's a guy on Hobby's team that I'm jealous I didn't draft. So yeah, I would still probably prefer Braylon Allen to Kenneth Gainwell.
What about Kyle Monangai?
That's an interesting one because you and I both don't really like DeAndre Swift. He's still getting good volume there, but Monangai could slowly kind of creep up and take more and more work there. I think if I'm looking from a season perspective, I would rather have Monangai.
Yeah, I agree. Long term, right? I mean,
you're not going to want him for the next week or two, but yeah.
What about Kendre Miller?
That's a guy who I do enjoy watching, but man, Kamara is still so good. Even into these years, a little bit past his prime, he's a guy who Rattler knows he can check down to. It would take a Kamara injury. I would still probably prefer Braylon Allen over Miller, just because you have the chance of getting those goal line touchdowns, and Kamara is like the everything back there in New Orleans.
But he looks so inefficient these days. I mean, is it there? Are they going to continue to just run him out there? It's similar. I would say CMC and him are very similar where they get all the work, but CMC is far more efficient than
I mean, well, yeah, if you're comparing the two of them, yes. But he's still able to get catches out of the backfield. Last week he had 6 targets. I still think he's a guy who can do it all. He's just stuck on the Saints is the only problem. And not that the Jets are all that much better, but do you think Kendre Miller takes over more time from Kamara?
I don't know if he takes over more time. I just think he's got more juice, right? I think Kamara is not the explosive guy that he used to be. While he's sure-handed out of the backfield and he can still break tackles here and there, he just doesn't have that explosiveness he used to have. And I do see Kendre Miller now healthy. Remember in that rookie year, he had that massive injury. Yeah. Last year, he wasn't able to find his footing. But it seems like this year, he's definitely trending the right direction. 9 points. He had more points than Kamara did this week. I mean, Kamara had 6. And
the Seahawks defense last week was really keying on Kamara, stuffing him on the runs. Maybe I got the tinted glasses on because I saw him have a great game against the 49ers. I think he had 19 or 20 carries and just under 100 yards. He really should have had a better day too with some of his runs. So maybe just watching that full game made me feel like he was doing a lot better than he is.
Yeah, I mean, he had 18 carries against the Seahawks, and that's very, very inefficient.
Yeah. And I guess those fantasy points with Kendre Miller comes from those kickoff return yards, since those count in our league, and that's what he's doing from a fantasy perspective in our league specifically. Maybe he will have some better weeks than Kamara, just because if you're including those kickoff yards, the way they're doing kickoffs now, we're seeing quite a few of them get broken for 50+ yards.
Mm-hmm. If he breaks one in a game, his output's going to far exceed Kamara in a game.
Oh yeah.
So, So that's someone I'm just kind of watching out for. But yeah, Monangai, Kendre Miller, Sanders, I'm not touching.
Oh yeah.
But outside of that, that's kind of it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Angel, Braylon Allen, good luck. I think there was far worse options on the waiver wire. So
yes, and good luck. I think you're going to cut him in about 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah. And Ollie Gordon season, I think, by week 9. So that's what I'm thinking.
Oh boy. Well, unfortunately, you're right about Bill season, but it took an Eckler injury, so I guess we know what's going to happen to Achane coming up here soon.
I don't want to say it, but
yeah, we all know how happy you were. We could hear
it. Yeah, Bill's still not getting all the work. I mean, they're still breaking in, but he is getting touchdowns, which I'm very happy about. They're giving him the goal line carries,
the red zone work.
Yep. So that makes me very, very happy.
Indeed.
All right. Well, that's it, my man.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what, Manny? I got to say, going into this week, the past couple of weeks I've been rooting against you, but now we're division mates. We're going against the other divisions. I really do wish you the best of luck this week. Andrew, nice. I do as well. Carlos's B team. Carlos, please set your lineup. I really want the Allen division to succeed and show we're the better division over Barkley and over Chase.
Yeah, I got a matchup against Alex this week, which I'm hoping to get some good production out of there. And yeah, I think you against Javi is probably the toughest matchup of our group.
Easily. Yeah, it's gonna be brutal.
If you can get Javi, though, I know you guys have a really fondness for each other. So
yeah, indeed we do. But congrats on the win, Javi. My team can't really keep up. I just wanted to reach out and say, great job being 3-1 so far, heading into week 5. You're doing great. My team just can't keep up. What can I say?
Well done.
Yeah. So Manny, I wish you luck. Andrew, I wish you luck. Carlos, I wish your B team luck as well. Allen division, let's go.
Rob, let's get a dub, Rob. Let's go. All right. See you next week.
Yeah. Good night.